The Rancor's Brothel presents The Curse of Strahd.
Davun hears... do you actually hear? You hear voices, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Then the first voice you heard was panicked and screamy. The second voice that surprises you a little bit, because it was definitely more than 25 words, and was just long and drawn out and self-centered.
Yeah.
Definitely a voice you know.
Yep, talk to him for a few minutes.
And actually, why don't we do a will save? Or whatever the they call that in 5th edition.
Wisdom.
Again. Really?
Again, really?
11.
You read 11 books of rules and tell me what you can remember.
I don't know. It's only been 3 years you've been running games.
No, only 3 out of the 15. You see Davun turn white, and as he grips the edge of the table to keep from falling over. Because I'm assuming we're still in the inn.
Yes.
What's wrong?
You know how Van Richten said that there was a chance that we might be overheard?
Yeah?
Yeah, we were overheard.
How's he have the phone line tapped?
That's a terrifying question.
So what, okay, you got tapped into, what'd he say?
Yes, did we relay that in the last episode?
I'm sure we did, but you can feel free to relay it again. Matt mentioned how he wasn't paying attention earlier. I don't know if he remembers it after reading it or not.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm just repeating what you said.
I was trying to contact Corvus. We're heading for Berez. What did you find there? Will you join us? Tell us where to meet you. And I got a response, kind of in a very terrified and screamy kind of voice, as Cody put it. Pain. It hurts. She won't kill me. I cannot. And then it breaks off. And in a whole different script is, hello again, dwarf. Still playing about in my hands. Play your part. Be the hero. But know this, the game only ends when I say so, and you will suffer for taking her from me.
So, I guess we go after him?
Corvus? I would say so. It sounds like that's exactly what Strahd wants us
What's
to do.
Mardukov, what's the guy's name?
Erwin?
Erwin. Is Erwin present?
Erwin is around. He left you, I am assuming that you were there of an evening. I believe it is probably late in the evening, because I believe Esmeralda was there. They're around, but they're kind of giving you some space.
I would like to describe to Erwin what just transpired about his brother.
Okay.
Because if we can get some Were-Raven reconnaissance before we go.
Yeah, because we always get NPC backup.
You know, if this is his brother, unless there's base.
Monk, make me a dex saving throw.
16.
So, Erwin makes a sort of gaspy chortle and starts heading face first for the table. And you happen to
catch him?
Yes.
Okay.
You happen to reach out and catch him.
Okay, good.
He appears to be not quite having a seizure, but he's definitely not in his right mind. He is utterly terrified at what you've just said.
Congratulations, you broke him.
You see Danica runs in. She screams, comes over and begins, she gets a wet washcloth, comes over and starts toweling him off, and he sort of comes to after a bit.
Are you okay?
Yes. It's the thought of oh my, she has him. That is worse than a death sentence, perhaps.
What can you tell us about her?
She is evil. She's the embodiment of evil.
More than the Lord?
I do not know. She is as old as the land.
Are your people able to aid us?
We do try and keep tabs on her, but we keep a distance. We do not want to get too close. We believe that she, Strahd, and others probably know of our order, so that is one of the reasons why we keep things so secret.
Right.
What is she?
What if we painted one of you white? They wouldn't think you were a raven, right? You have white birds here?
She is...
Oh my god, did you ignore me?
No.
You're like my mother.
I didn't know how to answer it at all.
Oh.
She is a pure black evil. She's as ancient as the land. She lives in a ruined city in a marsh, a place forgotten by time. As I said, we keep tabs on her, but I would not think Corvus so foolish as to approach her lands and to provoke her.
Can you get word to your father to get the most recent intel?
I can try. It is not... There are those of my group that you have not met. It comprises of more than just the Mardikovs.
Okay.
It is
whomever in your network of, people.
Don't actually do the air quotes in front of him, please.
I didn't do air quotes in the real world.
I could hear the air quotes.
Audible air quotes. You see Erwin and Donica start snapping back and forth at each other because he's ready to go right now and she doesn't want him to leave. She wants him to have no business reaching out to anyone who she doesn't want him. You get the sense, and she says it explicitly, that she doesn't want him flying anywhere near that godforsaken place.
And by no means, I don't think you should. This town needs you. You don't need to put yourself at extra risk.
We're
saying
going.
If there's someone else you could put us into contact with that might have more up-to-date information.
Perhaps.
Your brother is our friend, and we will do our best to help him.
Roll a persuade, Matt.
10.
Erwin's on board with it, definitely, but Donica, but husband, the children, she's keeping him from going. Otherwise, he would go now to see what he could find out. So it would take more persuasive words from her in order to persuade her to allow her husband to go. Because right now he's torn between
I told him not to.
family and family. Well, that's the easiest way. That's what he was trying to explain, is that if it is not part of his family watching over the place, which would have probably been Corvus, then someone will need to go to where they are watching over Berez and speak to that member of the Order of the Feather.
Is there some kind of code word you could give us? Some kind of talisman that they'll know we're, friends of the Order? You can give it to Davun. He's pretty trustworthy.
Is it more of a caw or caw? Oh.
Now that's just insensitive, Troy.
Ignore him. These people
no.
are very tall, and when they
I'm
talk,
the one that
it's
doesn't
fake.
say things out of game. That was in game.
That's true. I'm saying in game. That was very insensitive. Yes. Depending on your approach, there's really only one path to Berez, but depending on your approach, you may or may not pass the standing stones. If we have a lookout, it is likely that individual is observing from the standing stones. I would be very cautious, and they would be cautious as well. They would not trust strangers even if they tried to warn you off. So, if you mention my name, my family name, mention the group sort of in a suggestion. Like I said, we don't have many outside of our kind in the group.
Right.
Namely, the four of you. So, those that are not Mardukov are even more skittish of...
Outsiders.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll try to play the Mardukov card.
But he does tell you that there is a circle of standing stones. And he kind of gives you a rough description. It's outside the ruins of Berez. It's an ancient place.
What direction from Berez is it?
It's to the east, across the major waterway.
Are we going now, or are we waiting for morning?
It's late at night, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
sleep
sleep on it.
off,
Yeah.
up at dusk.
Sleep
Up
recharge.
at dawn.
Baby,
Up at
let me
dawn
sleep
and roll
on
out.
it. What do you want to do?
Sleep, get breakfast,
Kill stuff.
maybe we can pack up a to-go lunch to save some rations, and roll.
Okay, it's 5 miles roughly down the boggy marsh, if that's where you'd like to go.
So as we're traveling, I asked the question.
I can cast create food, and I've got a scroll of Heroes Feast, and
Did we
Do we have a
correctly
that we can make?
gear up for the trek to the temple already?
No, we needed coats and it's cold up there.
Right.
Roy.
Are we thinking about doubling back after Berez?
We
or
did do that
forward?
because I wrote winter clothes under equipment. We did do that.
I think you did, because you've been
you're right.
debating...
You're right. We did.
Yeah.
We did.
It's almost as if you've been debating on one of two major chapters in the book to attend to, and your DM sort of narratively suggested you could go for one over the other.
Right.
Yeah.
So the temple then.
Let's go to the temple, guys.
I do kind of like monkey wrenches.
All right.
Acts of randomness. No, now we told Erwin we need to go rescue.
Fuck that guy.
No,
tell
that
him.
guy has saved our butts a couple times.
She's not going to kill him, remember?
Yeah,
She's going
okay.
to torture him. He'll be
Yeah,
able to
look,
get back.
that's fine. We'll get him back. He just won't have any finger or toenails. It's cool.
Still alive, right?
What are you doing this for?
He can turn into a raven.
The little raven won't be able to perch well without any claws.
No.
So you set off. It is a lovely day, in so much as days in Ravenloft are lovely, which means it's overcast, and appears to be ready to rain at any moment. And it's slightly chilly.
Does it ever rain, though? Like, it always looks like it's going to.
Nope.
Do you guys like think seriously that you could like paint a raven, make it look different? I have a disguise kit. No,
To what end?
make it look like another bird. So
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
he said that the Baba Lysaga knows of the raven kind spying. Why not make it look like
It's
a
a
different
6-foot bird.
Huh?
It's a 6-foot bird.
I thought it was a little raven.
Where ravens turn into humanoid ravens.
Yeah, but they also turn into ravens, right?
No.
Bullshit, motherfucker! You turn into a goddamn bird. And nobody ever said a 6-foot goddamn bird, you motherfucker.
Thank you.
I'm waiting a month for something like this to happen. This is great.
Like, there'd just be a bird man, and we wouldn't know if it was one of the Mardikovs or not.
It's painted white. How would they know?
Thank you so much. Okay, just having a legitimate curiosity about the use of a disguise kit. But let's continue.
No, it is a legitimate curiosity. I just don't know that it would actually work or not.
I don't know either. That's why I asked.
You can try it.
Nope.
You could definitely try it. You could definitely try it.
You
Let's
can find
move
one
on.
if you can find someone who's willing to do it.
Let's move on.
You move, you head west, as you've done several times now, except this time you sort of follow the branch that goes down the river. You notice very quickly as you leave that it becomes a bit more humid than normal, a bit more sticky, a bit more marshy. Playing mechanics, if we were to be worried about that, you would know the phrase difficult terrain.
Mhm.
So that means that the water in the muck is enough that you are moving at half speed. So,
By marshy, do you mean it has excellent food at good prices?
no,
Or
I mean
shut
it's going
down?
out of business.
Oh no.
You continue onward then, yes?
Yeah. Unless you stop us somehow.
Nope, it's now going...
Can we take a boat? Is there
No.
any boats?
No, the water, I mean, it's marshy, but it's not... I mean, I guess you could down the river, theoretically, if you could find a boat and or make a boat, but you don't see any boats.
Airboat.
If you can get one, you go right ahead. You Burt Reynolds and Archer it up all you want.
Yeah.
So a trip that, in Unda's estimation, should have taken you 2 or 3 hours at most, actually takes you into more like early afternoon. Like, you slog through this marsh. The trail hugs the river for several miles. The dirt and grass soon turn to marsh as the trail dissolves into spongy earth pockmarked with strands of tall reeds and pools of stagnant water. A thick shroud of fog covers all. Scattered through the marsh are old peasant cottages, their walls covered with black mildew, their roofs mostly caved in. These decrepit dwellings seem to hunker down in the mire as though they have long since given up on escaping the thick mud. Everywhere you look, black clouds of flies dart about, hungry for blood. The fog appears to be much thinner on the opposite side of the river, and you see a bit of light flashing amid a dark ring of standing stones. So, from the angle that you came in, you sort of came up on a rise, and you see that Berez, the path sort of, as much as it is a path, it's really just sort of muck at this point, leads into the middle of this sort of ruined town or city. This is at least as large. Berez would have been at least as large as Barovia, maybe even a little bit bigger. And you see that there would have been a main thoroughfare leading to the town square, but you can just see buildings that have just been overrun by dampness and just have been destroyed by the elements. You're several hundred feet away from that area. You're only able to see, as you head down a little bit more, to get closer to the water, I'm assuming is what the plan is. Visibility becomes 100, 150 feet. I mean, this is Sherlock Holmes' Hounds of the Baskervilles type fog. Like, you can't see shit beyond,
Only use your low beams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to stop the group and do my meditation thing.
Okay.
My favorite enemy, what is it, primeval awareness thing.
Okay. Which does what?
A 5-mile radius tells me whether my favorite enemies are nearby. And I actually have 2 now because I leveled up. It's undead and fiends.
Well, beyond the fact that, I mean, the wolves are full of undead, or the woods are full of undead,
Right.
Because it's Ravenloft. We'll just narrow down to the local cluster, I think.
That's what I'm really looking for, yes.
What else are you guys doing while he's doing that? You've got 10 minutes.
How far away from the standing stones?
A couple hundred feet.
No,
You'd have to cross the water.
It only takes me a minute to do that.
Oh, I thought you said 10.
So tells me which ones, how many, which direction, and how far.
Except for the ones that are painted white.
Those are hidden.
The ones that are what?
Painted white.
They use disguise
you know
kits. They use disguise kits.
Yeah.
Turns out it works.
If I was a were raven and I rolled a 20 on a disguise kit, I'd be a white raven. So suck it.
Which are totally indistinguishable from regular ravens.
Can you choose which color raven you want to be?
I don't know. He's the one with the disguise kit.
No, I mean, you played a character. You played a character that could do it.
You're looking for undead and fiends, right?
Yes, sir.
You detect Un Thing, a single undead in the surrounding half mile. What you assume encompasses Berez.
So I will relay to this. Within the next half mile, dead into Berez, there is a single undead.
Cool.
So is that the Baba Lysaga?
We don't know.
We don't know whether or not she's actually undead, but we could probably assume.
I feel like we should have asked that.
I did. So, standing stones?
Yes.
You were wanting to meet?
Do we see anything at the standing stones? 200
You
feet away?
saw a light flashing amid the dark ring of standing stones.
Can we stealthily approach it?
How do you propose to stealthily cross a river that is about 300 feet wide?
Is it marshy, you said? So it's like shallow?
Yes, it's relatively shallow.
Okay, by hunkering down and just kind of like walking on my fingers like I do at the lazy river.
Okay, if you'd like to stealthily approach, please roll stealth.
Does a 25 get me there?
Is anyone else going? Is anyone else being stealthy?
I'd let him go ahead if that's what he wants.
Yeah, like, let me scout.
Let him scout, and
It doesn't
then
make any
I'd
sense
go.
for us to travel together and only one person be stealthy.
This is really
Yeah.
creepy.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, every
Well, no,
party...
some of us will make noise and it'll defeat the purpose.
We'll
I
all
will
walk
attempt
right
to
next to him
stealth
and keep looking down at him like, what the f*** are you
The
doing?
water feels great.
I will attempt to stealth across.
Keeps the flies off.
17.
So, Unda, you've dealt with marshes before. You know sort of how to step. You're moving very carefully, sort of being careful not to splash. You're sliding your legs instead of picking them up. You move across the 300 feet slowly, but you move what you believe to be very silently. The monk, on the other hand, moves at a rapid pace. He's taking the opposite approach. He's actually almost Jesus-like walking on water.
On top of the water.
Because he's able to run and he sees the spots where he can put his feet in the least amount of water. So you actually skip across the water incredibly quickly.
Cool.
You are standing on the opposite bank. You see a circle of standing stones.
And can I see the light that was emanating?
Yeah, you actually see that there is a cloaked figure, not very tall. You would guess from the frame that it is a woman. She's got a bullhorn lantern that she's sliding the shade down on. And she again sort of beckons you inside the stones.
So she sees me anyway?
Well, I mean, once you get over there,
Come on.
she was looking at you guys, so I think it would be hard to avoid her. She is impressed that you got all the way across there.
Okay.
The stealth roll may or may not have been for her.
I will, I'll approach.
She keeps waving you until you get all the way into the circle. She backs up, and it's like,
It's a trap. Sounds like a trap. I roll an insight?
You know, you don't have any bad luck with getting into things that you shouldn't, so go ahead, jump in there.
I didn't say it for sure, but it's up to you.
Oh, no, you're going with him.
I'm apparently further behind him than I thought.
no, you get there at about this point. I just wanted to see what Matt was doing, since he's being waved
Yeah, I
more or
will
less
cross
directly.
the threshold into the Stonehenge area.
As you do, she pulls her hood back, and you see that she's
a white half raven, right? Like a
no,
white
what I was
raven.
going to say is that she has dark hair, and there is a splotch of white streak in it. She's probably in her late 40s. You stranger, you must leave this place. You do not belong here.
Why is that?
This is a very, very dangerous place. One of the most evil creatures in the land lives right across the water there. You should turn back now. Go back to your friends and tell them to leave. Do not come back to this place.
What evil creature? What are you speaking of?
You see, she sort of looks to the side. About this time, Lucas, you are walking up, assuming you are just walking into the circle
Walking
of stones.
very carefully, watching her.
Madam, we're looking for someone we've lost.
If someone you lost went in there, they're dead. Or worse.
We have verified that they're not dead.
Then it's the latter. You should turn back.
As I'm approaching, I kind of give her a curt nod.
She sees you. Vishtana, what are you doing here? Tell this man. No one should go into Berez. Surely you know of the dangers.
Yes, I have told. It is known.
Then take your friend and go.
How long have you been watching this place?
Please.
Why do you care to know? What would you guys like to do across the bank? You sort of see them descend into the circle of stones. It's kind of hard to see, especially, even though it is afternoonish, you can tell that they went into the circle of stones, but you can't really see anything.
If I just saw them walk through there, I would just start walking towards them.
Okay, so you're just going to walk across the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be easy
Okay.
for a 7-foot tall guy.
Splash, 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 splash. There you go. You're across the river and you're
We
approaching.
We were told that an ally was watching Berez.
She makes no sign of responding.
Please, fair maiden, what is your name?
My name is no concern. What is important is that you leave now, before her gaze falls over here. We are safe inside these stones, I think.
What makes you believe that?
Old power? Matt, roll me an intelligence check.
15.
You see, looking at these, that these look remarkably similar to the set of standing stones you saw at the old bone grinder.
How many sets of these stones are there that you know of, madam?
There are a few here and there, some of them buried deep in the wilderness. Like I said, old gods, old power, perhaps even older than her. So I feel relatively safe here. But again, we should not speak for long. I would recommend that you all turn around and leave.
Well,
Have we got up?
Yeah, by about this point you're there.
Can we hear her?
Good question. I like that.
I do too.
You can hear them.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
I had asked her if the creature was undead or not. Because Lucas thinks if she's not undead, then Corvus probably is. There's only one undead.
She has all manner of foul beasts. Not all of them are undead. Some of them may be. She herself is not, although she lives eternally, as does, him up on his tower. The four of you, please listen to reason. Turn around. There's no need for you to proceed. It will only end in your own deaths or perhaps something even worse.
We have a friend in danger.
So they keep saying.
Yeah.
Your friend is dead.
Well, I don't believe that. I don't believe you. I'm tired of being surrounded by cowards. I'm going to put my axe into something. Let's go.
What you must understand is that this is a site of evil. He killed this town. He sunk it to the ground for its sins. He scarred the land, and now she inhabits here. Why, I don't know, but perhaps to be close to him, perhaps because it is a site of such evil and death. But across the river is a different place than where we stand now, whether it's the stones, whether it's the evil, I don't understand it. But if you go to that place, it will likely be the last that you ever breathe as free people of this or any world. No gods will help you over there. Nothing will save you. I've watched her for some time, for longer than I care to account. Beyond the water is her territory. I know that she slaughters man and beast with reckless abandon. She feasts from their blood. She has great power.
So he put a wound on the land, and she infected it.
Perhaps.
Well, then let's cut the festering limb off, before it kills us the whole.
Many have tried, either for gold or noble causes or what have you. None have succeeded.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Well, you will not.
Again, I ask, what are you doing here?
She won't answer.
Watching.
Watching in a potentially not safe place?
Watching because she doesn't always stay here. And because when something that evil moves so close to your borders, you'd like to know when she disappears. When she is here, she's at least contained. The wound is stuck to a single limb. When it travels throughout the body, it may kill the rest of you.
Okay, look. Erwin sent us. Said somebody may be here.
I hear his screams.
I wondered where.
She points in a general direction. In the goat pens, I believe.
Okay.
That is where she bleeds or feeds or does what she does to the goats. I hear them bleat most every night. You should beware the scarecrows as well. She has a fondness for the things. Likes to fill them with the feathers of ravens. Now that she's caught new quarry, I think she delights in torturing him. To be honest, I believe she knows I'm here. I do not feel safe. But if you know Erwin, and he's spoken to you at all and confided in you whatsoever, then you know why I'm here. I hear her cackle. I hear her sing. She flies about in the skull of a giant.
I'm sorry. Say again.
She flies about in a skull of a giant.
She's not one to be trifled with, friends.
So,
If you are here as friends of Corvus, then I would advise you do your best to get in, grab him, and leave. I do not think you will unroot this terrible evil that grows in the ruins of Berez. Her roots are too deep, her soul too black. I do not think there is much in existence that would root her out.
Do you have that book? The Strahd book?
Yeah.
Can I see it? Okay. I know what the happened here.
Has Corvus read the book, or is that Jeff connecting the dots?
Corvus read the book.
Or not Corvus. Davin read the book, yeah.
did Dad read the book? Oh, no.
Devin had the book for a period of time. I don't know how much he got to read before he
Gotcha.
handed it off to Pithur.
Also, if Jeff and Troy don't have inspiration, you can both have inspiration. So, again,
So can we share this information? Or
if you know it, yes. I mean, you have the book.
remember how I told you that Strahd encountered Tatiana over and over again?
In Generations, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is where he encountered her. He fell for her again. She fell for him. They were going to run off. And the night that he came back to get her after he had started to turn her and everything like that, the burgomaster who I think it was her, she was his servant. The burgomaster figured out that she was being turned and they killed her. Strahd found out, and this is what happened.
Okay. Are your
Sorry.
characters actually referencing the book?
That's the only way they would know. Yeah, they would have to reference the book.
Hey, you guys mind if I read that?
I quickly tuck it back into my sack.
Can I sleight of hand take it away from him? Can I do that?
I mean,
When he's not looking?
theoretically, I would not recommend you try it right this second, because if so, you'll be rolling a disadvantage since he's watching you.
No worries.
But I mean, if you want to try it in a little while, maybe.
Fair enough.
I think you need to pick your moments, though, because Troy's giving me that look of, I am never going to sleep again.
Sleep right on top of it.
You do see the woman sort of look curiously at the book. I will not ask questions. My understanding that I've heard through others is that you four are doing good work. Please don't throw that away. Corvus would not want you to throw that away.
Our good work or the book?
Either.
Okay.
Not planning on it.
She hangs her head in resignation. Very well. I did what I could.
Sing songs of us.
things.
So, should
It
we...
is now getting on in the afternoon. It's not dark by any means, but it's getting on.
So, gentlemen, should we go a little farther south along the river and then cut across and enter the city from the goat pens first?
This seems logical, yes.
Okay.
You in agreement? Okay.
Sure.
Getting late in the afternoon as you loop, go across the water and come back up from the south. But you approach the ruins of an estate. As best you can tell, this estate is actually fairly large. Maybe 500 feet by 500 feet. Towards the south end of the village lie the remains of a mansion built on higher ground. It has been reduced to piles of stone and rotting timber. Empty arch windows stare at you. South of the ruin, an untamed garden runs rampant, surrounded by broken walls that are no longer able to contain it. East of the ruin, someone has erected a crude wooden fence, forming a circular yard in which several goats are penned. Surmounting the fence posts are human skulls. And there appears to be a scarecrow in there? Question mark?
No, the scare. Well, like, is it on a stand or is it just standing on the ground?
No, you are seeing something elevated above a post, arms out, crucifixion style.
Is that the only other thing in there besides goats?
Yes.
There's no building, there's nothing?
No.
So
there's
that's-
the. I mean, there's
Corvus,
the
then.
there's the rotting mansion. Like there are bits of it still standing, air
Yeah.
quotes. And then you have a large garden between you and the pens, an overgrown garden. I mean, we're talking. You know how when you leave that for a couple years and it just sprouts and grows wherever. So you'd have to, unless you're going to go through the garden to either the mansion or to the goat pen, you're going to have to swing out and around.
Okay, go around the building or go through the garden.
I believe as a ranger, I don't have that problem with rough terrain anyway.
I'm going around the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going around to the mansion or are you going around to the goat pens?
To the goat pen.
To the goat pens.
Okay, just asking. Maybe you want to investigate the broken
Oh,
building.
I do.
don't know.
I do.
Okay. As you turn the corner and proceed upward, like I said, it's pretty obvious that it's a circular pen. It's about it's actually fairly large. I mean, it's an animal pen. It's maybe 150 feet in diameter, probably. And like I said, as you start to get up to it, you don't see a gate. You just see, basically, you see fence post, you see railing, fence post, railing, and then on every other top of the fence post is a human skull. And as you get closer, you hear a soft moan, and the scarecrow moves a little bit. And you're pretty sure it's not a scarecrow.
Can you tell that it's Corvus?
Perception check. It is dark and misty.
7.
Was 21.
22.
You don't know Corvus, but you would assume it is Corvus. You know it is not a scarecrow anyway.
Okay.
It appears that the person's clothes, Corvus's clothes, have been rent. He shows several wounds, probably several broken bones. Bits of him may or may not be missing, and you're pretty sure his eyes have been gouged out. It's hard to tell. Again, like I said, it's about 100 feet inside the pen. It's almost like
Oh, I'm
100
already
foot.
going.
There is no door, so what are you going to do? There's no gate.
How tall is the...
It's a fence for goats. It's not like a...
No, you're just climbing over a,
Yeah, I'm
2.5,
going.
3 foot fence.
I'm pulling out my bow and knocking an arrow just in case.
Okay. So Davun, are you all following? Are you just
Yeah,
waiting for
yeah.
Davun to go up and over?
No,
Let-
I'm following.
Let me go first. Let me try to sneak ahead there.
I don't want him to blow up. No.
Points!
Go ahead.
5 fate points. Roll stealth.
23.
Okay. So you see the monk doesn't even wait. He just sort of takes a quick jog, gets to speed, and just leaps over it in a single bound. The goats kind of give you way, but you do smell blood and offal and and everything else that you would expect to smell inside a pen, right? Perception checks from everyone but the monk.
Natural 20, 27.
20.
10.
So for Pithur and Unda, it's slight at first, but then it becomes noticeable. In fact, noticeable enough that eventually, Davun, you'll notice it. I think you'll know when you notice it. But as he clears and begins to move in ever so slowly, 3 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, getting closer and closer to Corvus, those heads on the posts start swiveling ever so slightly, like they're following his movements. And just as soon as they turn and those dead, empty eye sockets sort of stare at him, all the mandibles drop open and they begin to scream at once.
I cast silence.
Over the 300 square feet, it's not going to
I
work.
can cast it on the arrow and fire it over there. It's only going to get 20 feet. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At this point, just because it's probably important, let's take initiatives.
Even his
much.
stealthiness didn't help with that.
From the magical things that were guarding the pen?
Yeah.
No, not really.
21.
19.
15.
13.
Basically, at this point, I'm going to take everything in turn order. The only thing you don't know if you've been detected, you kind of assume that since these things are screaming like banshees, you have, but you have no actual knowledge of that at this time. It is Pithur's turn. What'd you like to do, Pithur?
I would take off and go for Corvus.
Okay, double move.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, it is difficult terrain, so unless you've got something to do in difficult terrain, it is you're moving at half speed. So your total movement is normally 40. So you could move 20 with your regular movement.
I can move 40.
Right, you can move 40 on a double move.
Yeah.
Just toss me a d20 for an athletics to get over the fence. I assume that's pretty easy for you. As long as you don't roll a 1, you're fine.
21.
All right, so you clear the fence. Maybe even with a knee, you take out one of the skulls. It goes tumbling off into the mud and shatters. And you see Pithur just, again, you look like a gazelle, but you're running through mud, so it just sucks. Unda, it's your turn.
Move up. I've got an arrow knocked and ready to go for anything that pops up.
Roll an athletics check.
Athletics check.
Or an acrobatics. I assume you're going over the fence.
That is a unnatural 20.
Okay. You flip over it, no problem. Jeff, it is your turn, sir. What would you like to do?
I guess I'm gonna get to Corvus.
Well, you're going to get about 15 feet to Corvus.
I can go 25 if I double move.
What's your base speed? You're 30, right?
25.
25. Yeah, you full move. You get 25. Welcome to the marsh.
Do I need an athletics to get over the fence?
Yeah, something. Just don't roll a 1. I mean, you are capable people. I just want an excuse to narrate the fact that you trip and fall on your face in the mud.
It's an 11.
Yep. It's not pretty. You get over the top rail, it cracks a little bit under your weight and you wobble, but you're able to get over it. So you all now are technically inside the fence. Monk.
I will double move and get to Corvus.
Because your base speed is higher now, isn't it?
It's 45.
Gotcha. So yeah, if you double move, you can move 45. You get to Corvus. You can't take any action,
I double move, so there's nothing. I can't talk to him.
Yeah, no, you can talk to him. You can have basically you can have an interaction or two in a split second.
Just let me perceive him as I've now arrived to him.
Are you just wanting to look at him, or are you wanting to look at him? Well, I guess I'm thinking different games. Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
Focus on him and
yeah.
9 or yeah.
I mean, even at a quick glance, you can tell that he is heavily injured.
Is he survivable?
As you approach, you hear him cough. Your roll's not good enough to know whether or not he's going to live another minute or another hour. Run! She's coming. And just more blood comes up.
What can we do to destroy her?
Run! And that's about all you get in the 6 seconds. Perception rolls.
14.
9.
Oh, wow. Okay, a bunch of 14s.
Louder, Lucas.
Sorry. Oh, sorry, that's a 15.
Lucas rolled a 15.
Plus 7 is 15.
Yep, every time. In that general direction away from you, you start hearing splash, 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 splash. And it's not just one, it's like several instances of splash, 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 splash.
You wanted to put your axe in something. Put your axe in something.
You wanted this.
No, I did not want this.
Pithur, it's your turn.
What direction is the splashing coming from?
You've got some sort of northeast of you, you've got some north of you, and you've got some northwest of you.
I will just ready an action. If something gets to me, I will stab it.
Okay, so you're readying a melee attack.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. You all hear a noise, probably best defined as a cackle, as flying through the air, inside an inverted giant skull. It doesn't tell me how big her skull is. It only illustrates it in the book as slightly larger than 5 feet.
It's not very giant.
I mean, a skull that's 5 feet in diameter, like that's pretty big.
I suppose that's fair.
I don't know if that's big enough for a giant, but
I was just Googling pictures of her and I saw something I shouldn't have. So I'm just going to have to hold back. Sorry.
won't matter, you'll be dead soon. You hear her cackle like mad. Well, well, well. What have I found in my trap? And let's see. She begins waving her hands around because that's how she roll. I will take
Quick cards?
No, they're not.
They're spell cards.
I will take dex saving throws from the monk and Pithur.
10.
Fantastic.
Wait a minute. Dex?
Yep.
Yeah.
You see her begin to sort of swirl a single finger, and then she just sort of like that. You see a little spark just sort of zip over.
Dude, that's what it was.
19 points of damage.
Okay.
Even worse.
It could have been a lot worse on 8d6. Corvus also erupts in flame, and you hear him scream, and he stops moving. You're pretty sure at this point he's bleeding out. Whose turn is it? Unda.
I cast silence on my arrow.
You can't.
What do you mean you can't? I thought we discussed this before. How can you not?
It's not centered on an object. It is centered on a space.
I thought it was an object. Screw that idea. I'll just fire an arrow at her then.
Okay.
Wait, what is her range for me right now? She's 95 feet away.
Yep,
so
fire away.
That's cool. 19 hit.
So you let loose with your arrow?
Yep.
And she sees the arrow coming and kind of just leans to the side as it plink bounces off of the skull.
Okay, second shot. So I get an extra attack that I always forget about. Nope.
Oh, you just shot Corvus.
Sure you don't want those cards?
It is Davun's turn. What would you like to do?
I'm trying to decide if the spell is on her or on the skull.
Valid question.
I'm going to cast Dispel Magic.
Okay. On.
Actually, it says I can cast it on a magical effect. Any creature, object, or magical effect within range.
You're casting it out of the 3rd level spell slot, yeah.
Yes.
Did you download that?
And are you casting... What's the range on it?
120.
Well, it's just on a point, right?
No. It is on a creature, an object, or a magical effect.
So you're casting it on a creature or an object.
I'm casting it on the magical effect of the flying.
That's fair. Yes. You see so you cast your spell and you...
There's not a magical effect causing
She has invisible
something
wings.
to fly?
Not as defined in the book. I know, right?
Is it a magical effect making her fly?
I don't know. It doesn't...
let me read the book and I'll tell you.
Discretion?
Guess what? Skull has a fly speed. Doesn't say why or how. You would
Oh, the
assume
skull is a creature?
It's a good question.
Okay. My
saying is-
spell is either going to work or it's not.
All I'm saying is that I have no idea. I have no idea how the skull is flying. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt and say that Dispel Magic will work.
Okay.
I don't actually know. It is not. The spell is not casting italics fly. The spell
Right,
is
but-
not.
But it would do the same thing to a carpet of flying.
But the question is that if she enchanted it, then you would be rolling at her versus her spellcaster level, depending on what spell it is. Yeah, you would if it's above 4th level.
Fly isn't above
maybe
4th.
It's not fly. Yes,
That's why you keep saying.
it is not fly in italics. It is not the spell fly. I don't know what the spell is. The skull flies. It does not fly.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Well, we can quit arguing about the meta magic, and I will say that the skull descends.
Okay.
Doesn't
So
fall. It descends.
It comes down gracefully. She's just hovering. She's not like 35 feet in the air. So she's now sitting on the ground.
One question.
It is now, whose turn is it?
I think mine.
No, it's the monk's turn. He hasn't gone yet.
Oh.
If I use dash as a bonus action, I could get to her and still be able to have my action.
Yes.
Well, let's do that. So I'm burning a key to dash. And in my crazy run, I'm going for a drop kick, flip, punch. That's what I'm going for. So, nope, I can't because I just did the bonus thing. So I can't. I'm not burning more keys, man. Plus, they're already magical now.
Because I'm going
So I was going to put, can you burn more than one key at a time? To do?
I've not read that I can't. When you spend a key point, it is unavailable until you finish a rest. Yeah, it doesn't say.
Unless the ability says it takes a certain action to do it.
Okay.
But bonus action to burn a key point.
But the stunning may be a part of your attack.
The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the end of your next turn. Okay. Well, my key save DC is 12. Really low. So, I don't want to.
I was just asking. I was just more curious than pushing you to do it.
Yeah, that's as well.
All right, the drop kick. 27.
You rolled a 27?
No, I rolled a 19. I have a +8.
Okay.
So that is 27. Yes. Lucas, can you check my math?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit.
For 8 damage.
Okay.
First punch is a 25.
Okay.
For a 6 damage. and a nat 20.
Nice.
So that's 28. I can't remember. I rolled twice?
Roll
or
2d6 and add 1 modifier. Yep.
Okay. For 12 damage.
Okay. So you jump across and you pow, pow, pow. And you seem to not care at all that she's hiding behind that skull. Seems to do no good to her whatsoever. Pithur.
I'll throw a javelin.
Yep, go ahead.
22
It flies through the air and strikes home.
for 10.
Oh, by the way, there was more splashing. Matt, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, well, I opened my yapper. That's a 7.
Cool. So you punch.
I kick punched.
You kick punch.
With my flaming iron fists.
And she turns and looks at you and howls. And you see her just with one finger point.
Sound like me stirring a drink with a lot of ice in it. Why are those D8s? That's not fair. They should be D4s.
62 points of damage.
I am dead.
You're not dead. You're at
Yeah.
0. Did I deal you enough to do you negative the exact same amount that you are at full health?
No.
Okay, then you're laying in the mud. You're making death saving throws.
What the was that?
Finger of death. I believe these were yours, right? Are these yours?
I'm
Yeah.
now taking 36 damage from her. Does everybody know that? Because now I'm going to go smoke.
And now that she's not going to provoke an attack of opportunity, where's she going to go?
Is that 62?
This is a good door.
Just so you know, Finger of Death's like I don't even know what level spell that is now.
No, it doesn't. Math. My max is 53.
Yeah.
So if I was at 34, okay, she would have to have done 34 plus 53 damage. So it would have to have been 87 damage. I missed it by that much, but very well, I would imagine with that rolling, it could have killed me outright. I have heartburn now. That gave me heartburn.
After she reaches out and touches Matt, you see... She doesn't even touch him. She just points at him and just boils erupt across his body and ichor pours out of his mouth and he just drops face first in the mud. And then you see her hop out of the skull cackling. 1 down, 3 more to play with. Unda.
What are you doing?
I gotta move up a little bit in order to actually hit her. I have to be in range. Or take disadvantages to things. That's probably a miss. 14 hit.
So you let loose with 2 arrows. One is not even close. The second one looks like it's going to graze her, and she dodges out of the way. Davun.
I'm going to cast Bless.
Okay. On.
It's a 30 foot burst from me. 3 creatures. I'll make it me, Lucas, and Troy. Whenever you make an attack roll or make a saving throw, you roll a d4 and add that to it.
How long does that last?
1 minute concentration.
Splash, splash, splash. Splash, splash, splash. You see leering and menacing scarecrows on the horizon. They have just come into your field of view, and they are running towards you, full of feathers and terror and... I don't really know. I don't know how to make scarecrows scary. Go ahead.
Another javelin.
Fire away.
20.
Yeah.
For 8. Second attack. That'll hit.
How many javelins you got left?
I've thrown...
So this will be your... Yeah, this will be your third throw. I didn't know how many you carried.
I have 6. So I'm 3 now.
Gotcha.
I have darts if you want to loot my body.
For 9.
Matt, I need a death saving throw.
Fail.
Okay.
I love the image, though, of you running.
Oh, are
through
you
the mud,
raging?
Chucking.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't explicitly said. I just assumed
Then wouldn't your damage be too higher?
it would.
So 4 more points a day.
You see the Baba Lysaga wave her hands again, and this time she seems to pull them up towards her throat as she takes a big, deep breath, and she looks right at you and screams. And you're stunned.
No saving throw for that?
Nope.
Well, you do.
Unda.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You gave her cover.
Yes, I did.
So what does that? Just put me at disadvantage?
No, there's cover rules. I know exactly how much cover that thing provides. She screams something, cackling and menacing. What's the problem, mountain man? Can't keep your feet? You think that the four of you stand a chance against Strahd? Pathetic. Lucas, what would you like to do?
I can throw silence on the skull. It's a 20-foot radius from the skull.
Okay.
I guess that's my action.
All right, you cast silence. Davun.
Is he alive?
Barely. He's already failed a death saving throw.
I'll do spare the dying.
Okay. He coughs and sputters. Matt, make me a death saving throw.
Pass.
The scarecrows move up, and for those of you still paying attention, you hear additional splashing from over in the north and the northwest. Troy. Con saving throw.
That's 23. Does a 31 pass?
No. You are no longer stunned.
I can move?
You are no longer stunned.
I'm gonna hit that bitch. For 28.
Okay, you hit her.
So 4 plus 4 plus 4. So 12?
12 damage.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's hit 20 something.
Okay.
For another 12.
Okay.
How does she look?
She's looking pretty bloody.
You doing, Matt?
Playing Clash Royale on my phone. So bite it all in.
Hey, you may still survive.
Yeah.
You see her structure, her body sort of warp and change. And in front of you now is a swarm of flies and gnats.
I cast
It is
Raid.
It is a spell-like ability. It's not casting a spell, so I don't believe that there's a verbal component.
Shouldn't be, no.
She should just be able to do it.
Mhm.
However, I will give you an opportunity to attack as she flies away. Because you
Flies away?
Absolutely, she's flying away.
Oh, because you guys silence. 29
Yep, go ahead, roll.
for 13.
As she buzzes away, you all hear a very loud cracking noise. Like earth-shattering, ground-shaking, cracking noise in the northerly direction. Unda, it's your turn.
She's no longer behind the skull, right?
Nope.
Cool. So you got this D4 thing going?
Yep.
Well, that's a miss. That die. Unnatural 20.
You strike her with an arrow.
So that is 9. Shoot. 13. And my bonus action is... Wait, she's a swarm of things, isn't she?
Yeah, why?
Hail of Thorns as a bonus action. Dexterity saving throw.
You hit, Lucas.
That is 6 extra damage.
Okay. Jeff.
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
120-foot range.
Yeah, no, you're good.
It has a 3rd level.
She get a save, or is it just automatic damage?
It's automatic if I hit her.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a spell attack. 19 plus 8. So 27?
You hit her.
21 damage. Radiant damage.
Okay. So, you let loose with Guiding Bolt. It streaks across the mud, lighting up things as it goes, and you strike the flies in like a bug zapper. They all just disappear. Matt, make me a death saving throw.
Oh, crit fail. I'm dead.
Seriously?
Yeah, I just died.
That's a double fail.
Yeah, if you rolled a 1.
Oh my f***ing bull.
Our title track, Nocturne, provided by Sleep for the Weary off their new album, Nocturnes. To find out more about Sleep for the Weary, check them out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Facebook, and at sleepfortheweary.com. Join in the brothel conversation on Facebook. Questions, comments, and suggestions can be sent to between2crits@gmail.com. Like what you heard? Subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Most of all, keep circulating the tapes.